Hello friends. As you can see, there's been a little bit too much Easter going on. Let's just clear away some of the detritus. And then we'll have a short break while I eat them all. I hope you guys had a great Easter. I'm going to be colouring in from Awake, and even though after Easter, I've got these rabbits that are jumping for joy because joy is my theme for April. And I was going to do some changes to this. It's going to look something like this. All right, I'm just going to create a border. I discovered this at the place where you buy pens. What's that called? Officeworks, the stationery shop. Because I've been using some pilot pens for my brush nibs, but they don't have waterproofness. So anything you get wet smudges. But these, I think are new. Although new to me, I haven't seen them before. Brush nibs on the uni pens. Ooh, waterproof. So that was pretty exciting. Of course I bought some. It's my weakness. Maybe it's yours too. Going to anywhere that has pens or art supplies, I need to leave my credit card in the car. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit of ground to you know what else we need? I should probably put those in before I did the thing. I'm going to add some Easter eggs. Because why are these rabbits jumping? Because they've discovered some Easter eggs. What do you think? Is that enough Easter eggs? Right, a bit out of control with my blinds there. It's not going to matter. Well, as mentioned before, this is called Might As Well Jump. And look at these rabbits getting all excited about chocolate. All right, I'm going to use some markers in this, and I want to get that background sky in first. I'm going to use some blues. This is called Fresh Blue. Let's see how we go with that. Now I do have a sheet of paper and a sheet of acetate behind this page, just so I don't destroy the page if there's any bleed through the page behind it. And as always, the trick with these markers is to keep moving. If you stop, you'll get a line. And I do like to find the spaces, sort of like this. All right, now I'm going to bring in this light sky blue, which I'm hoping is a little bit lighter. Yeah, a little bit different. That's all right, we just want a subtle change. All right, I'm going to put the light, well, I've got the light sky blue. Let's get that in. Just these two little spaces here. And then I'm going to bring back my fresh blue, filling these spaces. Now I'm using my Ohuhu Oahus, and these are an old set. And new sets that you buy of these Oahus have the new, different numbering and naming system, which is all very exciting. But you'll notice in the top corner of my illustration, I will add in what the current colour I'm using is, but also what the new naming protocol is. And I'm hoping that the new naming protocol is running across all of the sets now of Ohuhu. And this is my hope. So that means if you've got a Honolulu Plus range, you could use that colour in the new set. So this is just finishing off with our light sky blue. I think that's already looking pretty cool. Right, I'm looking at these rabbits and I'm thinking, let's make them sort of grey rabbits. So I've got a warm grey 140, and 140 has sort of like a pinkish tinge to it. I'm just going to bring that in around the face and in the ears there. Then I want to bring it to warm grey 150 and sort of get that blending in here. Now this is warm grey 160. Yeah, a little bit of warm grey 140 in the hands and the tail. Looks like this guy's looks like he's wearing a onesie. It's a little baby rabbit. I'm just going to add in a little bit of Carmine red for the nose. Maybe the inside of the ears could do some of that as well. And I'm going to bring in my warm grey 150. And back to our warm grey 140. I'm going to bring in the 160 just got to give us some definition around our shadowy bits. Okay, back to my warm grey 140. I need a thicker nib. Warm grey 140. And then I'm moving on to my Carmine red, I think. Should be the next colour. And then I think a warm grey 150. Now a little bit of warm grey 160. All right, one more bunny to go. I'm going to start with my Carmine red. I'm going to move on to my warm grey 140. And then our warm grey 150. Right, back to the 140. And the 150. All right, this is my Carmine red. And this is warm grey 160. All right, I'm just going to add some little eyeballs in our rabbits, just to sort of soften their appearance, which is essentially just drawing circles. All right, I'm going to bring a white ink pen. This is a jelly roll, just to give them some white in their eyes. Got a little bit of bleed happening through there. All right, what I think we need now is an explosion of colour. All right, this is a colour called Salmon. I'm going to give this little guy like a little orange jumpsuit. I'm going to match that salmon up with a colour called salmon pink. And you know what, I'm going to do a jumper of this. This guy's going to have a jumper which is those colours as well. So that was salmon, and this is salmon pink. Yeah, I think this egg, I'm going to do the same thing with the salmon and the salmon pink. What about some lines on this? I'm going to go to the other end of the colour spectrum and go with some greens. This is a colour called grass green. I'll give this guy a lovely green jumper. And this is our vivid green. Oh, this was the darker one. Oh, well. Yeah, I think we need some grass green here. And I'm just going to put some vivid green as a shadow. I just realised I left this guy's arm, so that's salmon and salmon pink. All right, I think we need some pink. This is light hot pink. And this is a color, no, that was Mallow. Oh, done it again. And this is light hot pink. Too much chocolate. It's a lesson to us all. All right, light hot pink. And a little bit of Mallow. I'm going to give him some Mallow cuffs. I think this egg needs to be a little bit of Mallow and a little bit of light hot pink. Right, I'm bringing in some yellow green just for these cuffs. Oh, let's do these pants that colour as well. They have some pretty cool pants with the feet stitched in, these guys. I think they're all in their pyjamas. All right, I'm going to just add in some pastel yellow We got a warm grey 170 here. Just want to add in a little bit of shadow here and there. Not too much, just a touch here and there. Okay. I'm bringing in a white jelly roll. Just going to bring in some highlights. And our little rabbits. Yeah, I just think we should play around a little bit with, this is a colour called Processed Blue. All right, I'm just going to play a little bit. I've got a Salmon polychromos here. I think they could do with a little bit more definition in their face here. just give it a little bit of definition to their face. And you could probably finish now, but I'm going to just add a little bit of this phthalo blue around the edge of my circle. And I've got a little bit of white here. I'm just going to add some subtle fur. Well, guys, there you have it. Might as well jump. I think we'll call that finished. So, first April colour along. If you don't have Awake, then you can grab this image and all the images I'll be colouring in April from the April Colour Club pack from rjhenson.com. And I hope you enjoyed not only colouring this in, but adding a little bit of Easter vibe to that picture with some bouncing Easter eggs. I think gives it a little bit more context. Plus, we just had Easter, so I thought it all sort of works for me. Well, so much fun. Thanks so much for watching, guys. No doubt I'll see you in another video, but for now, I'm going to say goodbye.